Hello everyone, my name is Diego Alfonso and I'm your host with the Florida Aviation Network. Broadcasting live and in the clear from the Florida Air Museum at the Sun and Fun Complex in Lakeland, Florida. We're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Sun and Fun Fly-In and Exposition. Today, our guest is Richele Floyd. Richele, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Richele, I was going through my notes here, and by the way, Richele is a teacher with the Bok Academy Middle School, and we're going to get into exactly what is it that she does with the school and students. But before we get there, I really want to know one thing, because I understand you're a pilot.
I am.
And what we would like to know is, what made you make the decision, I want to be a pilot? In other words, where does that spark take place, and where the dream comes from, and what brought you from that point to how you tie that into what you're doing today?
Okay. Well, it started very young. I grew up with a family that loved to travel. So I was always traveling internationally as well as around the country. And then my father got his private pilot license.
Okay.
So I flew with him a few times. It wasn't many until I was hooked. You know, it's something I want to sit in that pilot seat. So I actually took my first discovery flight when I was 19 years old, which was quite a while ago, but I won't elaborate. From there, it took quite a while for me to get my private pilot license. Things get in the way as far as college and getting married and children and that kind of thing. So finally, about 6 years later, I got my private pilot license, and I've been hooked ever since.
Good. And where did you learn to fly?
Bartow.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
Are you a native?
Lake Wales. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were born in Florida.
Yes.
You know you're an endangered species. You know.
I know.
Because almost everybody else is not from here.
I know.
Okay. Now, how did being a pilot? I assume that being a pilot kind of you gravitated into this program that you're working today.
Right. Well, my degree from college is civil engineering.
Okay.
So after college, I did that for a little bit, and then when the economy started to decline, I was laid off. Here comes aviation again. So it's something that I've always loved and always found myself back into. Why I didn't do it from the beginning, you know, you got to live and learn. But I worked for a middle school just as a para, and then was given the opportunity to get my teaching certificate to teach engineering, which I do teach STEM. It's science, technology, engineering, and math. And for the students that want to continue in the STEM program, we consider that now our aerospace program. So it's just an extension of the STEM program, but I teach them the basics of flight. We have flight simulators, so they use those. We travel all around locally as far as different airports, different things that we can go see. I highly encourage people to come bring things to us, to our campus in Lake Wales.
Okay, so now, okay, but is it an aviation program or is familiarization of aviation?
It's a STEM program, but we teach the basics of aviation. Okay. And I am actually working with Eric Crump from Polk State.
I know Eric and I were very good friends.
So, yes, so it starts with me in the middle school, and then he works with, I know, Central Florida Aerospace Academy through the high school, and then through college. So it's this whole feeding process.
Okay, so I didn't know that connection existed.
Yes.
Actually, Eric was here yesterday.
Yes, I just spoke to him.
I interviewed him yesterday. Very impressive too, you know, what they're doing there. I really didn't understand the process that they were getting into,
Mm-hmm.
but now I can see how this is like a chain link
Yes.
type of thing. You know, they progress right. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I understand that according to my notes here, you have or working on a high altitude weather balloon project. Why don't you talk us through that?
This is our final 9 weeks project, and we try to do something pretty large every 9 weeks where we work smaller things throughout, but then we've got a larger goal for the 9 weeks. So the final 9 weeks, we are attempting to do a high altitude weather balloon. Our goal is to reach 100,000 feet. We're planning to have a flight computer on it to record temperature, pressure, altitude, as well as a GPS tracker, cameras. So, and this project, I'm spreading it out there and trying to get the whole school as well as our whole community involved with it.
Okay, and you know that's interesting because now you're saying that, and my mind is going like this. It's not a tether balloon.
No.
I don't think.
No.
So it's a free
Correct.
balloon.
Yes.
Okay, now I assume they're going to have some equipment in there.
Mm-hmm.
And how are they recoverable or?
Yes, it does have a GPS tracker on it.
Oh.
So we will hope to recover the payload.
I see, because it'll go up, and at some point it's just going to either.
Well, of course,
I have
the
no idea
balloon
how.
is going to pop at some point.
Okay.
So we hope to make it to 100,000 feet.
Okay, so it will record the altitude,
Correct.
the highest altitude it reached,
Mm-hmm.
and then whenever it falls, you're going to have a transmitter or,
Yes.
or some kind of coordinates
Mm-hmm.
where
So we have to track the coordinates.
where you're going to have to go and track them.
Right.
I hope that when you do that, the winds are not that strong.
We do have a she's actually a teacher at Bok Academy who has her meteorology degree.
Okay.
So she's on board with us. The science department is on board with us as well.
Yeah, because being in Florida, I think that would be, I would think, and being a pilot, that would be part of the logistics of when to release it, because
Right.
With the direction and speed of winds, because you have the Gulf over here and the Atlantic over here. So if you have north and south winds, I guess you have a better chance because
Right.
you have a lot of land. And what is it that do you know anything about the actual construction of the balloon?
I do.
Okay.
The balloon or the payload?
No, let's talk about the balloon.
Okay.
The balloon. What makes it go up?
We are using helium.
Okay, helium. Now, the payload. When you say you have a computer in there, is that
Yes.
computer work from down here? Is there a link or a connection, or is just
It stores everything on an SD card.
okay? But it's on its own.
Yes.
There's no link
Right.
to the ground, and the sources for the computer are. You say you have it reads altitude.
Yes. The computer is actually ordered for this purpose.
Okay.
And it has sensors that records pressure, temperature, and altitude.
Right.
And then, like I said, it stores everything on the SD card. So of course we have to recover it to gather that information.
Exactly, and it doesn't. I guess we will record wind direction and speed. I would say, or that will be determined after the fact.
That yes,
where, where
the
it landed.
landing location. Yes.
So if you have to go that way, and the winds were north.
Right.
Okay. Now, any other projects that you have in the works other than that?
Currently, this is our main focus right now. Things that we've done in the past have included gliders. We've built gliders. We have made parachutes. I do a lot of engineering since my background is engineering as well. So we build a lot of things such as yard games like the cornhole toss games.
Okay.
And
Okay.
stuff that involve plans and scale drawings and stuff of that
I
nature.
love engineering actually, but I never got there. I mean, the closest I got to, I'm a mechanic. Actually, I'm automotive and aviation mechanic, both. And I love engineering, and I love how things are put together, and that's why it piqued my curiosity of the balloons, because I used to do experiments, when I was little. I just say when I was younger, because I'm not that tall anyway, so I'm still little. But I remember, now this is going back 50 years, and right now the technology is unbelievable. Like, you have a computer that will do all kinds of stuff. We didn't have none of that, none of those stuff. Now, I noticed too, and I think you touched on it, but when you say you have field trips, where do these field trips are organized, and what's the purpose of them?
The purpose of them is because I want to expose my aviation students to as many different aspects of aviation as possible. Because I know younger children, whenever they think of aviation, they think of pilots. It takes a lot more people than that to get an airplane off the ground, as you know.
Yes.
So I'd just like to expose them to as many different things as possible.
Okay. And kids, I mean, when you say kids, what are the ages that?
We're 6th through 8th grade.
Okay. That is just the right age to really get them interested, because I'm an advocate of incorporating kids into the aviation world. I really think that the aviation, the pilot, I don't even want to say pilot, I want to say the everybody involved in aviation, I think it's a shrinking.
Right.
And I don't know why. And there's a lot of programs that I just learned in this couple of days. There's a lot. Judy Rice, Captain Judy Rice was here. I don't know if you've heard of her. They have that global program. They're going to go around the world just to motivate kids. And Richele, I'll tell you, it's been a real pleasure to have you in the program. But unfortunately, we have come to the point in which we're going to have to say goodbye.
Thank you.
We really, really appreciate you being here, and wish you lots of luck with your kids and your projects, okay? And to you, I want to thank you for joining us, and my name is Diego Alfonso with the Florida Aviation Network, and we will be back very soon.